Races in this tournament will mostly be run with our standard flags, with all runners scheduled to compete each week. And the tournament begins with a Swiss-style format for 5 rounds. Those who finish with a winning record, along with a few additional wildcard qualifiers, will advance to an elimination-style playoff bracket to determine this year's tournament champion. The first round of the Swiss section, matchups were determined with a random drawing. Due to a luck of the draw tonight, we have ourselves an excellent matchup. 2 veterans of the game, VaeluV and Angel FM. VaeluV's participated in some previous tournaments, some solid weekly race results under his belt. Angel FM has spent plenty of weeks with the #1 ranking on the overall leaderboards and has racked up plenty of tournament victories along the way as well. Special thanks tonight to our tracker, Brian Williams 42, our esteemed restreamer, MathGirl18, and I'll probably be joined later on today by Lavkin. So I will be requesting chat to catch me up on what in the world was in that throne room, and I see they're already in the treasury. So clearly there was some sort of an extra key, and Angel's decided to reset and hang on to the key, not particularly loving what was found in the treasury. There is a gold chest available in there, so potentially a gold grind available, unless that was one of the things in the throne room. Angel instead is going to use that key to check the basement before deciding what to do, and VaeluV has found some sort of a grind here. Not sure if he's got a torch grind going on, which can certainly help with the low strength that we have starting out here. We do have a heal spell, and there is a town nearby, so depending on what this town is, we could end up seeing a reset for some really good gear. You can trigger the level 1 gold grind and make sure that you pick the gold in the top left of the treasury, last or second to last. Maybe get the torches as well. But VaeluV wastes no time using the torch strats on a druid. And with the big agility that he started with, wasn't taking too much damage. Learns a new spell at level 2, and he's found a town, which is Rimildar. Interesting in that he is going to use the money that he found to refill on keys. So using that key early was not a problem. Foregoing a possible early weapon, but he's going to go get keys first, and then you can always dip back into the treasury with your extra keys that you're buying right now if you want to raise a little bit more money for some gear. So this is definitely a great play, and while he's busy doing that, Angel has found a couple of Drakeys to level himself up in some sort of a dark place here. Not sure if this was Swamp Cave in the basement or one of the dungeons. We have a chest actually that he's gotten to. So we have herb, fairy water. Looks like he's navigating his way through the mountain cave. Looks like he's gotten at least 3 of those chests actually. I believe we have silver harp found in the Rimildar shop by VaeluV. And we're gonna get a look at the spoils here. So he can grab a copper sword right now, and maybe you're going to want to go into that basement soon, get a few of those chests, and then you can set up a proper gold grind to grab that magic armor for later. But right now he is all set up to get some early grinding done, while Angel is still busy trying to get some things done in the basement region. Well, right now this trip over is mainly to refresh on some keys. So he has a few extra keys to work with now as well. Doing it the hard way. I don't think he's actually seen the overworld yet, and doesn't have the knowledge that Rimildar is just right there. But now Angel will go and rediscover all the chests that he already opened, which will come with a chest glitch of his own. So he'll actually be able to grind some money here. And he is certainly filling up on torches as well, as you always want to do when you have some low strength going on. Only picked up 2 strength at level 2, so they still only have 11 strength to work with. Of course, plus 10 for the copper sword that VaeluV has will allow him to attack some of the smaller monsters pretty well at this point. So Stones of Sunlight and Silver Harp already in possession means that there's only 1 quest item left to find. VaeluV is going kind of the other way around now. He has gone into the basement afterwards And if he can grab 2 of these chests, he will be able to initiate a full gold grind for as much money as he wants back at the treasury after death warping or walking back out of the mountain cave here. He could easily get a quick 7,700 gold to go grab that magic armor, which is plus 24 for defense, and it also provides some reduced hurt more damage. So that might be a nice early pickup, and he has made it to multiple chests. So that will be an option now for VaeluV, while Angel finds his way to Rimlar with just a little bit less money than you would need to buy the magic armor, of course. But he's close enough where he could potentially do a little bit of a ghetto grind, just go in and out of the treasury a couple of times and raise enough money. So he is about to go get evened up here on quest items, grabbing the harp out of the chest from Rimlar. He has 4 keys remaining to work with, so he could, like I said, he could use 2 or 3 of those keys to just go in and out of the treasury if he wants that magic armor. And he is heading back towards the castle. So, a Magic Wyvern like 3 steps away from the castle, just slightly to the diagonal. So we are clearly offset to the edge of the zone in the castle. So he scoots over to the left a little bit and makes sure to find some primary zone monsters. Scorpion is an excellent choice, and the Warlock as well. Levels 3 and 4 being learned simultaneously. So Angel, for now, seems to be passing on the potential for grabbing the magic armor and just wants to get some levels. You never know if there will be some excellent stats or spells learned on these quick early levels, so getting a few things out of the way here. VaeluV, I didn't catch quite how far he has managed to go. I think he's actually on his way back out. And does not go for the gold grind there after opening chests. Okay, that is a little bit surprising to me, but he is going to continue throwing some torches at some nearby enemies, as well as just trying to grind the old-fashioned way with the copper sword, perhaps. Don't see any weapon marked off for Angel right now. I would be pretty surprised if he didn't just grab that copper sword while he was at the shop, but stranger things have happened. We have the heal and the heal more spell to work with right now, but not much in terms of helping to damage monsters besides torches and weapons right now. So now we see Angel popping back in. So grabbing a couple of levels, no immediate help, and so now we might be back to the idea of the ghetto grind for the magic armor here. And yeah, I like the idea. He's got almost enough money. And again, I'm actually really surprised that VaeluV declined. The gold grind should have been set up for him after going through Mountain Cave, but I didn't catch if he actually opened all 5 chests. I believe Angel has orphaned at least 1 or 2 chests, so may or may not end up going back in there later. VaeluV is actually going back towards the back now, so maybe just a key refresh, or maybe realizing, hey, maybe I should go ahead and initiate a gold grind, grab some magic armor. So it's kind of interesting that they did things kind of the other way around from each other, but we are sort of converging back on equal footing here. Similar experience, similar quest items in possession. And so let's see. I am looking at the tracker. Did Angel also not use 2 of the keys to go into the chest in Rimlar? Because there's a quest item there as well. It's possible that he decided not to go check that chest just yet. Okay, very good. Oh, a huge swamp run for Angel, and there is another town, so we finally have a new location to explore. Druin spamming the stop spell, so he is going to whittle this Druin down a little bit at a time. 3 damage at a time. Doesn't actually look like he is using the copper sword if he's doing that little damage. Nope, he was just low rolling. So 3 to 7 is his range, and gets him for the 14 experience. VaeluV is back in the basement, presumably, going through in the dark. Makes it through the dungeon, walks back out, and this time is going to walk around. You can do the same thing here by death warping, and as a matter of fact, if you don't death warp, you have to be careful. You need to actually go up into the throne room to get credit for those 3 chests. I'm not sure how this whole journey started for him here, so we will see if he actually has the gold grind initiated. He is opening some chests, and right now they are opening. Does he have the glitch here? Did not pop up into the throne room, guys. Ugh. Okay. Seemingly some missteps here for VaeluV, and Angel has less money to work with than he had before, but it's looking like he managed to pick up the broadsword from the town down there to the south, so he is working on trying to fight enemies such as the Wolf Lord. This zone to the northeast, like just a couple of steps away from the castle, yeah, Wolf Lord and Magia Wyvern so far, I believe. So that can be a nice zone in the very near future, but right now just on level 4, be a little tricky to survive some of those fights. It's going to grab a few odds and ends out of the treasury again. A little bit of gold, there's an herb, there's a torch there. So what is Angel up to at this point? Maybe he wants to clear out whatever he had orphaned down there in the bottom of the mountain cave. There were 1 or 2 chests that he didn't make it to. So let's see if that's the idea. And VaeluV settling into a bit of a grind. The Warlock is a nice juicy enemy with the current attack stats. So he is continuing to maintain a slim experience lead for now. So yeah, Angel's back into the mountain cave. There are some reasonably decent enemies in here. The Metal Scorpion, he is going to finish off with a torch here. That's 31 experience, and that will actually jump him to level 5. And the Droll, if successful here for VaeluV, will give him level 6. No spells have been learned recently. They still just have the healing spells going on, but let's see what happens here for VaeluV. Looking for a lot of stats and spells. Just a little of everything would be great. And he gets nothing, but he does get some sort of a spell. Pretty dismal stat growth there. And as soon as he opens up his spell menu, we will see if he learned something important. On the tracker there, we see that he just gains the spells of Radiant and Stop Spell. Not remembering myself right now if there were some enemies in the starting zones that were spellcasters. Sometimes stop spell strats can come into play when you're relatively weak and facing the prospect of some longer fights. Like right here, theoretically he could stop the stop spell from the Droll, allow the Droll to continue casting that, and maybe not casting the Dragon Lord Breath here. Low percentage Dragon Lord Breath, but yeah. So that sort of thing can be an option if he wants to take his chances against the Droll. He might want to stop the spell first. Maybe in the future he'll just run away from that enemy now. But Angel going back into the mountain cave again. So either really wants to take care of these orphan chests, or he really kind of likes what's down here. Wyvern, he's feeling like it's just slightly too strong, even though he has the broadsword. Not great with the defense stats or the HP stats right now. You have a potential of getting 2-shot there by the Wyvern, so he opts to look for something a little nicer like the Metal Scorpion here. Pretty good value, 31 experience on the 3-shot here. So, nice choice there for Angel. 1 or 2 more of those and he will level up as well. And here is Cantwin for VaeluV. There's some nice armor type equipment available in these shops here, and I'm wondering if all of this stuff is one of the other reasons why Angel is back into the mountain cave. potential gold grinds coming up for Angel, and he could be hightailing it over to Cantlin for all the good stuff. See full plate silver shield available, and VaeluV is going to use that heal spell to try and make his way over to these coordinates. I think it's going to be close whether or not he survives this. Always kind of amusing. He has one heal to use after this, and he needs a good roll here. He gets it. So, what are the coordinates? We will have 26 north, 63 east for some sort of important item. We already have 2 quest items out of the way, so there's a reasonable chance that those coordinates will lead to one of the Erdrick's gear, which you will want for many reasons as soon as possible. Level up here for Angel, as he is still in a dark place, and assuming that he is going to attempt to initiate a gold grind coming out of here, but still some nice enemies. Warlock has some good value, 28 experience and 50 gold, but they do have hurt more, and Angel has blocked that spell to make this fight a lot safer. So having seen all of the good stuff, VaeluV also back into Mountain Cave. It is the fastest way to initiate a gold grind, even though he's already opened all of these chests and he knows what's in them. He's not so concerned about these chests as he is getting that gold grind started, so that we can go grab that silver shield, the full plate, whatever else he might have seen over there. So heading for the shortest path to 2 available chests, just going straight down the stairs and over to the pair of chests on the bottom zone here, and making pretty quick work of that walk, while Angel seems to be taking his time, just using up as many resources as he can before taking this death warp. Maybe he actually hasn't... Has he not been? Okay, so presumably he has gotten all of the chests now. Also didn't set up a gold grind. I'm actually very confused what's going on with these runners. They don't want to do gold grinds, apparently. So first the magic armor purchase for Angel. Gets that out of the way. Maybe not so concerned about the silver shield if and when he finds that. So, very good. Yeah, so he did a little bit of a grind in the cave, so enough to at least get the magic armor. That's going to help for those hurt more casting enemies that we saw. It also has some minor heal walking. They do have heal spells, so it's not that big of a deal. And of course, it adds quite a bit of defense, which allows you to take less damage from enemies. It also allows you to repel and defense break more enemies than you otherwise would have. So, always good to have some defensive gear as soon as possible. And VaeluV is opening all of the other chests first, and he will head back over to the gold chest, and this time it's properly initiated, and he's going to go pretty far along here. So he knows there's a magic armor in Rimuldar. There's also a silver shield in Cantlin, and I don't know what he saw for weapons necessarily, and I'm not sure if either of them checked the 3rd shop. So if he didn't see a flame sword, there might be one in that 3rd shop. Certainly reasonable if VaeluV goes all the way, as we say, to 33,000 gold, so that he could get all of the gear. We're still only less than 20 minutes into the race here. If you are completely geared out at this stage, you would probably be thankful for it later. Hawk's Nest sighting for Angel. They are certainly not ready to take on any Sharlock level monsters for whatever that search spot might hold. We have relatively low HP, very weak strength, but the broadsword's helping with that a little bit, but not so much against Sharlock monsters. Angel's looking for a zone here where he can settle in and find the next level, and maybe that will break out in terms of stats and spells. Just about 15 points away. He's near the western edge of the map here, so also doing a little bit of mental mapping, looking around for that level up. As VaeluV is printing money, he's going past 25,000. He's getting the full boat. He could also stop here at 28,000 and settle for the full plate, but no. We're going to 33,000. Let's get all the gear. Get this over with. You might even want to take a safety save here with the minimum of MP. You have 1 heal more that you can cast. You have 44 HP. You might want to pop into the throne room, save your progress with the king, and that is exactly what he's doing. And meanwhile, Angel is going kind of a different direction, being seemingly satisfied with the gear he has. He's gone off to the east, out on the map, finds these Stones of Sunlight cave with even more gold to work with here. So now he has large shield money in his travels if he finds a town. Might want to just go ahead and grab the large shield and sort of be done with purchasing things for the rest of the game, even though it's not the best equipment. We are going to get a third shop check here, and there is a flame sword in the third shop. So heads up play, VaeluV, using the keys wisely, checks out the additional shop that was available. I'm not sure what just happened there, but okay. Alright, so flame sword, magic armor. Refresh on keys, and he definitely remembers that there was a silver shield, and remember, he's already checked the coordinates as well. Let's see here. I think the silver shield was in the second shop, but there may have been one here as well. Perfect. So full gear for VaeluV, and you can see how much that helps out on level 6, because we only had 21 strength, 40 agility to work with, but with the gear now up to 49 attack power and 64 defense power. So he'll be defense breaking some of those mid-sized enemies that we saw around the castle, such as the Wolf Lord. And he is also entering the grave if there are some nice enemies like that. Well, this doesn't qualify as a nice enemy. The Stone Man's going to be a bit too strong even with all the gear. Manages to get away. 40 agility makes him a slight favorite to run from the Stone Man, so we're going to see what's in the top 3. And the wings you might want to hold on for later in case you never learn that return spell, but nothing too exciting thus far. And he is looking like he wants to dive full grave. There are 2 additional chests behind a locked door if you can survive the trip. He's working with very low resources. The low MP is one of the major struggles right now in this seed. And Angel has continued to cover huge chunks of this map, going further east. And looks like he is on the north coastline and finds another town. This time it's Garnham. This is a really good find. He could stock up on herbs and such things at this shop. Wants to check if there's a large shield here first, most likely. And there may even be a gold chest. There's 3 chests that are openable behind this locked door, as well as an additional cave. So, really nice find for Angel. See how he wants to proceed with shopping or passing on any potential shopping trips. VaeluV is closing in on the 4th chest, deeper down in the grave. I see gold, and I missed actually what else was in Garnham, but I will see on the tracker if it was something exciting like some Erdrick's gear. Right now, nothing too exciting. Radiant spell being used, we have Swamp Cave and an immediate check on the spike tile. Probably for informational purposes for later, as I don't think he has seen the coordinates and is probably not going to attempt a princess rescue at this moment, but you never know. Nice Wyvern victory, while we see an unfortunate Arbor Knight defeat by VaeluV. Back at the castle he goes, still kind of only on level 6, struggling to continue gaining experience even though he has all the gear here. If he takes just a couple of steps to the right, there are Magiwyvern and Wolf Lords available, but he just wants to get more of the map explored at this point. And what was the spike tile here? Maybe he just likes the zone. This, by the way, is the same zone that he would have already seen on the top floor of Mountain Cave. That's just the way the game works. They share a zone. The Swamp Cave zone is the same as the top floor of Mountain Cave. And he is using Heal More strats to make sure that he defeats the Wyvern for level 8 here. And down it goes. So, nice job. Using what little resources he had make sure that he gets a level. And right now, only 3 power, but finally we get a little bit of a reprieve on the MP if he can make his way back to a town. In addition, he does have the Hurt More to work with, but right now he's going to need some help on a swing with the broadsword, and he's doing 4 damage. So Death Warp here for Angel, but he has the knowledge of the Armored Knight blocking the Swamp Cave. If Garenham was closer, you could potentially see a little bit of an early grind, but it was a little bit far out onto the northeast of the map, and MP is not that extreme to where you can double hurt more too many Armored Knights without running out of resources. So back into the treasury goes Angel. He has initiated the gold grind by virtue of the 3 chests that he opened in Garenham. So heads up play, never having seen the overworld because it was attached to Swamp Cave, so the intentional death on the Spike Tile monster in order to grind up some Silver Shield money. If he wants, he can go ahead and get the Flame Sword money as well. I missed if Cantlin was the town that he had seen earlier, or if he's planning on heading all the way back over to Garenham for some shopping, but I assume that he saw Cantlin and he's going to get a bunch of money for at least the Silver Shield over there. And so while he plays catch up on getting himself equalized on the gear that VaeluV already has, this gives VaeluV an opportunity to try and catch up on some experience, having fallen about 200 points behind while he was doing his shopping. And now he's catching up by fighting some Wraiths and other mid-sized monsters right near start. Again, this is that zone that we saw before with the Wolf Lord. There's also a Wraith. I believe the Magiwyvern is a little bit questionable to be defeated at this moment. He does have the Flame Sword though, so maybe you can 2-shot it sometimes with 59 attack power, but certainly you should be able to 3-shot it and use Heal More strats. This is a good zone actually right near the castle. There are desert tiles here, which is the fastest to encounter more enemies right away instead of walking around doing nothing. And so he's actually getting the Wraith to pop up quite a bit here. Decides to swing through instead of using the Heal More. It takes a little bit of a risk. Every enemy except the Golem has some chance of dodging. So, but decided to go for it. Gets it. The Wolf Lord's popping up now. This is enough for level 8. So yeah, he's done a little bit of catching up while Angel was gold grinding there. And Angel has stopped at Silver Shield money. He's seemingly content with the broadsword. And Hurt More learns just a couple of minutes later for VaeluV. So both of our participants have the Hurt More spell, just 200 points apart with experience. And VaeluV, oh, it was Breckenary. This is the town that Angel had seen. So there was a shop in Breckenary. Not sure if this is where he saw the Silver Shield, but in fact, he seems to be going back over towards Garenham instead. So Garenham is here. He could potentially do a little bit of grinding after his shopping trip on the Armored Knight. He can also go and see what's on the other side of the Swamp Continent. And yeah, so Silver Shield here. Nice pickup for Angel. And so he is fully geared up defensively without having seen the Erdrick's armor. They have the same defense power right now. 64 defense is enough to defense break and or repel some of those medium-sized monsters. So the Wyvern that he was struggling with earlier, probably defense breaking that now. He'll find that in the Swamp Cave as he goes back there. Actually setting up an additional grind just in case maybe, or just okay, grabbing the replacement key. Nice play there. And so this time, interesting to see if he does go for a preemptive princess rescue or a little bit of a grind, or just goes through to the other side. All three seem like reasonable options for different reasons, different strategies. He is going to the spike, and this enemy will be enough for level 9 if he is successful. So, interesting race strategies here from Angel. VaeluV, another unfortunate death. Back at the castle and walking a different direction to see what else he can find. So yeah, are we gonna just get a repeated Armored Knight victories, or are we... What are we doing here, Angel? I see a lot of bonking around. Maybe some heel walking? I mean, we have very minimal heel walking, but he's back. And he is attacking another Armored Knight. So, one of the things here is that you can just grab a few of these, and remember, you're attached to the town of Cantlin. You can... well, they don't have the outside spell to work with, but if he was able to walk back out, you could just go use the inn, and then pop back in for some more experience. So, Angel taking a brief pause here. Let's try to get off some of these early levels that were seemingly not that great, but look at the difference here between levels 8 and 9 that he just got. Huge strength score boost, and just like that, Angel is, you know, it's time to start swinging your weapon and taking down some bigger monsters here. HP is still pretty low, so you want to be careful with the really big monsters, but yeah, he's in really good shape. We have Heal More. We picked up some MP on level 8, so yeah, everything like this Magic Wyvern is perfect enemy here for Angel. It's just going to walk right through the zone. It's time to explore the map and try to find all the things now. So, Cantlin sighting for Angel. He probably won't even bother checking the shops for the Flame Sword. I think he's done shopping now. We have Hurt More, we have gear, we have some good stats. Let's go get those coordinates. He knows where the princess is located if he doesn't think he can walk 63 to the east, but I feel like these coordinates, he'll be able to count these and it'll take you right back to Garenham. It's the overworld search item is going to be right where that town is located, in that region over there. So he'll write those down real quick and maybe make that count right away. He's already familiar with that part of the world. You could find yourself some Erdrick's gear. The other possibilities at this point that could be on the overworld spot would be the token and the necklace and the flute. Neither of those have been found yet either. Oh, never mind. They both have the necklace, yeah. But the flute could be sitting there on the overworld. So, sort of a 50% chance right now that you would find Erdrick's gear, 75% chance of a required item. So, maybe it's worth going out there to get it right away, or you might want to wait for later. Depends on what they want to do in terms of routing, and if they want to cover some unexplored areas first, that sort of thing. Charlock for VaeluV, that's certainly a location that you are required to find at some point, since that is the home of the final boss, the big bad Dragon Lord. So eventually you need to come here, dive down through 7 or 8 levels of dungeon, and take on the final boss to beat the game and finish the seed and finish the race. Another dark place for Angel, lights it up with the Radiant Spell, so he is into the grave now. Pretty sure we saw VaeluV full clear this. I don't recall what was in the very bottom chest, so if it's possible maybe he got sniped before getting down there, but I'm going to assume that he full cleared it. And Angel now has the top 3 out of the way, and presumably will continue down below. There are still enough important items to find that diving the grave makes some sense here, and he's already opened quite a few chests in terms of the Treasury and Tanticle. The backside of Garenham's been opened. He's already full cleared Mountain Cave. So you sort of need to come down here and check these last couple of chests. Gets level 10 in the meantime, evens himself back up with VaeluV, who had done a great job of catching up on the experience battle. VaeluV hoping to just get over here to this town to get an inn stop here, refresh the MP so that he can go hurt more enemies, and Cole is a really good find. I think he's the first one to this, which is going to be our second search spot available. Pretty sure somebody saw Hawksness early in the race, but we haven't been back there yet to check the spike tile, I don't believe. Now, was it nothing? It flashed by really quick, couldn't quite tell. Sometimes there's actually nothing in the search spot there. So that would be a little bit unfortunate, especially since we have seen at least one cursed belt that I know of. And, but that could match up just with those coordinates that we saw. And so tough luck exploration-wise for VaeluV having been the first one to coal, and it just comes up empty. And now that Angel has taken the death and is back at the castle, I would not be surprised to see a count initiated here without the princess. But no, he's going southwest instead of northeast. Seems to have more areas to explore over here. I don't remember this town. Maybe this is Hawksnest that he saw in the early game. And it is, yeah. So he had this on his mind after learning Hurt More and some good stats. And he's all geared up. There are metal slimes in here as well. But it's time to go check what is the boss guarding the spike tile here with the potential important item. And he should be able to successfully take on almost everything. The HP is a little questionable if you do run into a golem or a red dragon right now. But it's definitely worth looking. And he'll also be able to compare the potential late game grind to the armored knight that he saw in Swamp Cave, so good information for later. Blue dragons in here have the small breath, which is not reduced damage from the magic armor. Only the Erdrick's armor reduces flame damage. And there's an Axe Knight grind available here in Hawksnest. So in addition to an easy victory here to search the spot, we may or may not see Angel stay here for a little while to get a little bit more levels under his belt. And it's unfortunately only the Fairy Flute, so the Erdrick's armor, or the overworld item is going to be required, because it will have one of the 3 required items. The Erdrick sword is loosely required, not always actually required, but it's still considered to be a very important item. So we're going to want to go check out those coordinates pretty soon. Angel is going to take an opportunity to, at the very least, just have one cycle here of using up these meager resources. He's got 4 Hurt Mores in the tank. Continues to get ambushed. A little bit unfortunate. So he'll have to burn a heal more if he wants to safely go after the Axe Knight here. And this will be enough for level 11. So VaeluV, meanwhile, has seemed to explore completely different parts of the map than Angel so far, having seen Cole a bit earlier, but not having been all the way to the northeast for Garenham just yet. So each one has been to places that the other has not. We have some tough luck getting away from the Stone Man here. For the last several levels, they haven't actually gained too much more agility. So we are going to continue to see some occasional multiple run fails. And Angel does a nice job ending the grind there on 0 HP and 0 MP. Nothing more could be done on that grind. So picks up a level and a little bit into the next level, and now he's probably just going to do something else. So nice job from Angel. He is now starting the count. So I kind of like the play. First, go check Hawksnest, and now we have the count initiated. He knows that it goes through. He knows it's over towards the Garenham region. He's been over there at least twice already. And now he is counting his way over to grab the item. VaeluV has had those coordinates in hand for a while, but has not started to try to do that count yet. Maybe thinking to himself that he would rather have the princess in hand for coordinates that are, 80 or 90 steps away. But for now, let's see, just kind of walking around in the grave. I don't think that okay, he got lost heading to the bottom, perhaps? Maybe VaeluV got sniped getting to the 5th chest, which would be pretty unfortunate, because now he's back, kind of retracing steps. Going through the same areas that he's already been, not getting any new exploration done while he gets down towards the bottom. Survivability is much better now. He is further along in levels. He's swinging a lot harder with that huge strength gain that they got. And he's all geared up. And so, takes down the Magiwyvern. One more Magiwyvern would give him a level. And we're seeing Angel kind of slowly and methodically maybe writing down some key benchmarks for if he gets sniped. The corner of that where he just turned there, maybe write down what that was. so you can walk right back and resume your count. He's going to heal himself up after trudging through the swamp. So yeah, this is heading straight back to the Garenham region, and he's actually very close to the item now. We'll see him start searching very quickly, but no, there's a red dragon. And this is going to be tricky. He's going to try and look for a low roll from the red dragon, and there's a low roll right there. Oh, he goes after the red dragon instead of trying to run away. Oh, this is very unexpected. Wow. He's going to get it with the excellent move and then some. I'm pretty confident that he didn't really have the resources without a crit there, but hey, he went for it, and he was rewarded 255 for the red dragon. And he is coming up on the end of the count. May or may not have to go across the water here. So doing some mental counting, counting the water tiles. Unfortunately gets another red dragon. He has about a 30% chance to run away from the red dragon each attempt. So he's definitely out of resources to try to defeat the red dragon. Gets a low roll, so he's still alive. And he'll have 1 or 2 more attempts to run away. And if not, he might just come back here and do an area count. Like if he lost the count there, he knows what the horizontal line was. You could just search all the tiles out here. So here we go. We're going to start searching. I feel like he was a little further north than this when he was actually stutter stepping. This can be pretty distracting when you're completely out of resources and you know you're in a red dragon zone. So he may have just goofed up slightly on where he was walking, but no, there it is. On the 4th attempt, it was the Erdrick's sword. So even more of an attack power boost, 122 attack power for Angel, and he just now needs the token and the armor. The token, of course, is guaranteed to be somewhere outside of Sharlock, and the armor can be in Sharlock. And I'm trying to do some mental gymnastics to figure out what we haven't seen. I think there's just like 1 or 2 chests, such as like the Tablet Cave, something like that, which seemingly has to have the token since the coal search spot was empty. Yeah, we definitely saw the chest in Rimmildar, the ones in the back of Garenham, the ones in the Tentacle Treasury. Pretty sure that Angel came across the Stones of Sunlight Cave, which had some gold. And both dungeons, I believe, have been full cleared at this point. So I think the token has to be in the Tablet Cave, which is undiscovered. Maybe the chat can give me a shake if I've mangled that. But we need to go find that tablet, and I think that's going to also mean that the armor is going to be in Sharlock. Because it's the only place left that can have anything outside of Sharlock, and there are 2 things that we need to find. VaeluV is maybe 5 minutes behind Angel on this whole sequence with checking out what's going on with the spike tile in the swamp cave here, and it's going to go with the hurt more strats on the Armored Knight, and maybe is going for the Princess Rescue. There's no outside spell to work with, so got to be a little careful on resources trying to get back out of here, and then he can return back with the Princess to do the count in a bit easier of a fashion. Instead of mentally counting every step, you can just go into the area and ask the Princess, am I getting close? Warmer, colder, hotter, and she will help you zero in on the item on the overworld. So, Princess Rescue, but yeah, no outside, so he is going to have to walk back through the Armored Knight spike tile. You can run away from the spike tile, and actually it'll pop you back out the other side going in this direction, but they are not a very big, they still only have about a 30% chance to run from an Armored Knight here, so probably going to just go with the double hurt more strats, take it down again, and hope to not have something bad happen in the process. And then you'll have to just walk back out one of the entrances. Potentially he may want to attempt to walk out the other entrance and just poke around a little bit before hitting the return spell to see if there's anything on the other side. So yeah, double checking that he doesn't have outside and using the heal spell there. Gonna take one or two more opportunities with this Armored Knight, but here's what's unfortunate is you can get ambushed and put directly into the danger zone. So he's going to heal more and attempt the double hurt more now, so things are getting more dicey. If you miss a hurt more, it's going to get real dangerous. Barely survives the big attack by the Armor Knight. That was probably near the max. That probably was the max with 72 defense, 34 damage. That seems right to me. So maybe he knew that, and it was safe to swing on 35. Gets the level, there's no outside spell, and there's not going to be a return spell either if he heals. However, we are like attached to Garanham, so you can pop back in, use the N, or you could use Wings if you still have some of those in your inventory. So nice play here for VaeluV to grab the level en route, use up your resources, and then head back with the Princess. And hopefully it'll take him only a minute or two after that to just go and find the sword. And while he is doing all of that, Angel is exploring new territory, trying to find the Tablet Cave. And there's a Sharlock sighting. I'm actually, now that we've seen Sharlock, it's a reminder, I'm not actually sure that both runners have seen both of the trading caves. We have Staff of Rain marked off for Angel, but we're still looking at the Silver Harp for VaeluV in his inventory. He has not traded in for the Staff of Rain yet. And, okay, the armor was pulled out of the Tablet Cave. Thank you, chat. While I was looking at the other screen, apparently Angel navigated Tablet Cave, pulled out the armor, and now I'm just at a loss as to where the token could be. So, maybe you guys could fill me in on what they haven't actually seen yet. Unless, like, maybe neither one of them made it to the bottom chest in the grave or something. I feel like everything's now been opened. But, yeah, Death Warp there for Angel after getting the armor, so he has all the gear. Only thing remaining for Angel is the token. VaeluV is going to take the walk through after staying at the inn. He went back through Garanham and walked all the way from north to south through the Swamp Cave to just get a peek at, see what else is over here on the second continent. There is a cave. Maybe this is one of the trading caves that he needed. Not exactly sure, but he's getting some good information here before returning the Princess. And it is... Wait for it. Okay, I didn't realize the Angel went over to the second continent either, so that's what threw me off. So he's going to have the Tablet Cave now, and this is going to be good news for VaeluV. Gonna grab the armor before heading back with the Princess, and then the Princess will lead him to the sword, which will even things up between our runners items-wise, and the experience lead has remained quite close as well. I feel like Angel has maybe a 2 or 3 minute lead on just covering the map at this point, so if he is able to find the one last place that's guaranteed to have the token at this point, which I still have no idea where that could be. If he finds it, then he will have a slim lead getting into the grinding phase. Towards the end, we are looking at an Armor Knight grind available and an Axe Knight grind in the Hawk's Nest, which is fairly close to start. And both runners know where Sharlock is. Again, I'm not 100% sure if they both know where the Rainbow Drop Cave is. But things are progressing really nicely for both of them. 48 minutes in here. I feel like there's a good chance that they'll be in grind and go in under an hour. And then it's just a matter of how far do we have to go to get the HP that we need to fight the Dragon Lord. Both runners, it should be noted, are using the Strength HP build, even though VaeluV is going with a multiple letter name here, which actually is known to be a little bit of a disadvantage since the game prints the letters one at a time. So every time the name comes up in the dialogue here during your battles, you're giving up a few frames with respect to your opponent. He seems not to care so much about that. He is a fool, apparently, according to his name there. And it does translate into Strength HP, however, so their stats are the same, and it also means that they're going to get as much HP as possible as the levels continue to increase, which is good because that is the last stat that we need for the most part, unless everything else just completely freezes up at this point. So it was a good option in this particular seed, making sure that you're maxed out with HP in the long run. And Angel has just slightly started to get out to about a 500 point lead now with the experience, as he continues to try to hunt down the tablet. Where is Erdrick's, or I'm sorry, not the tablet. I don't think we can see the tablet in this game in normal situations. Every once in a while you see it glitched that you have found the tablet, which is always cool, but Erdrick's token is required by the second old man in order to prove your identity, so that he will give the rainbow drop to the correct person. And without such token to prove your heritage, he will kick you out of his domain without giving you the final item that you need to access the Dragon Lord's castle. So, important and required item is the Erdrick's token. The last thing that Angel FM needs in order to complete the seed. And VaeluV still hasn't actually returned home with the princess. We're going back into the swamp cave now, and I'm not totally sure why this is happening on VaeluV's screen. And I'm going to kind of assume that he full cleared the second continent. There's nothing else to see over here except for the all-important tablet cave, which had the Erdrick's armor. So just going to pop in, grab a very quick grind on 1 or 2 armored knights before presumably returning home with the princess, who is eagerly awaiting rescue here. And at any moment you can fail one of these hurt more, so he is taking some pretty big risks. If you die there, you potentially lose the princess and she gets put back into her cage, and you have to walk all the way back over to the swamp cave again and re-rescue her. So, pretty aggressive and pretty risky play here from VaeluV, using up all of the MP to get this done. He is hoping that he will learn outside, so he saves the 6 MP for this level up, and he does learn a spell, but it is not outside. So, unfortunately, no time save there. He's going to have to walk back out. Has a couple of regular heals if he wants to top off his inventory. He's also heal walking now with the Erdrick's armor. Just wants to get out of here. He's going to have to take an inn because the return spell costs 8 MP. So we'll have to back in and out of Garenham, take the inn again, unless he has some wings, which he does. But he's still at some point going to want some MP to work with, but chooses to use the wings in order to actually save the torch that otherwise she might steal from you. So always good to use the wings when you're rescuing the princess. And so there we go. He's about to get the GPS item, which will help him navigate and locate the overworld spot so that he can get his Erdrick's sword and even up the inventory with Angel, who still has the slight exploration lead, and at this point a very slim experience lead. So still shaping up to be a pretty close race here. I'm still giving about a 2 or 3 minute advantage to Angel, but that can evaporate as things, if things go awry here. Who out in chat has figured out where this token has to be? I do not know what they haven't seen. It must be that neither of them got to the bottom of the grave. So Angel's back in the grave now, and he is looking for it. Our tracker, Brian Williams 42, thank you for tracking. He seems to have been paying very close attention to the seed, and he seems to know where this token is. It sort of has to be at the bottom of the grave if they hadn't seen it yet. He's been passed over. Someone else will say. Another red dragon encounter for Angel where he is attacking on sort of questionable HP totals, but he gets the right low rolls and is able to take down the red dragon with just 69 hit points, while 71 max at this point Level 13, by the way, gave them enough strength to be really pretty much at go time if they had a lot more HP. But right now the HP stat has been really suffering, and so basically no matter what, they're going to need more levels to get the HP stat up so that you can survive multiple hits from the Dragon Lord. You need to be able to heal in between each attack, so you have to be able to withstand 2 attacks in a row from the Dragon Lord in order to proceed in that fight, and it requires more HP than they currently have to do that. If you look at our tracker, it is multicolored. The strength and the MP are pretty much in range, but the HP is in white, meaning that we're just in progress in the game and not Dragon Lord eligible. Agility can also be a problem towards the end. If you have some borderline stats and you want to get through a Charlotte Castle that can be littered with very strong monsters, if you're planning on running away from those monsters, you're going to want that agility score to be quite a bit higher than it currently is. And it also affects your final defense score, which is currently in the 70s, even with the best armor in the game. So pretty serious stat deficiencies, but they are making it look easy. Sometimes the lack of HP can be really brutal. We have seen some overworld deaths from both runners. Not sure how much of that has been related to the lack of HP, but can be an issue. VaeluV is closing in rapidly on the Urgic's sword, so that will get him a little bit closer, and if he can think to himself that he has to dive the grave pretty much right away, then he can get even back up with Angel as he is hunting for the Rainbow Drop Cave and has it. So Angel FM is in grind and go. He has now received the Rainbow Drop from the old man, and he will be able to use that to gain access to Charlotte Castle in order to defeat the Dragon Lord. And that happened to be right near Hawksness, where he can continue with the Axe Knight grind for as long as he so desires. So in the driver's seat now, fully in command of the race, is Angel FM, and VaeluV is going to need to hustle now in order to try to stay within one failed dive, as we say. If you can just be, less than 7 or 8 minutes behind your opponent, if they fail a dive, you can become victorious. And a lot of that depends on if you end up with some borderline stats. The problem here is the only way that we'll have a borderline situation going forward is if they decide that it's time to dive on like 93 hit points, let's say, if you have a situation like that, and then you have one of those weird Dragon Lord fights where you can potentially get 2-shot if you get unlucky. Sometimes you might feel like you need to make the aggressive play and dive with a little bit fewer HP than optimal. So unless we get a situation like that, it's going to be tough to imagine a scenario where Angel fails the dive here. We've already seen plenty of red dragons. They don't have the sleep spell. We've seen the Armor Knight. They don't have the sleep spell. So Charlotte won't be as terrible as it could otherwise be. And, the agility score will continue to trickle up as we get more levels. And so yeah, we'll have to see what happens if he ends up going on a very borderline HP stat. Otherwise, they're going to become overpowered by getting these levels because strength continues to roll in. He just got a pretty good MP boost there. So he has, if there were a triple digit HP right now, even at level 14, he would have heal mores to spare. So it's about out of resources on this cycle. You always want to minimize your in-trips and death warps on these late game grinds. It's going to go after one more Axe Knight with the Urgic Sword and manages to 2-shot it. So getting, almost halfway through to the next level on this cycle. And theoretically, the idea here is that you want to try and stretch the next cycle to be able to get all the way to 16 without using an N, if possible. So he was trying to eke out as many victories here on level 14 before taking the death as he could, so that he could time the cycle, assuming you're not going to get it on 15, then maybe you can get it all the way to 16 on this cycle here. Straight back into Hawksness goes Angel to try and get that done. VaeluV is looking around furiously for something. I'm not sure exactly what. He has the token already. He has the armor. Did he not get the sword? Because he has the GPS. I'm not sure why he'd be just kind of walking back and forth. Ooh, okay, so our tracker has informed me that when he was trying to track down the coordinates, he decided that it might have been on the second continent, which is surprising because you would have to go all the way back to the Garanham region anyways to go through the swamp cave to get to the second continent. And while you're over here to the northeast, you might want to just use the GPS if you're close. Apparently that didn't happen, so still trying to get to the sword, and he is running into that red dragon zone that we saw Angel having to deal with en route to the overworld spot. The pseudo guardian of the Erdrick sword here, this red dragon zone. And he is looking for some low rolls from the red dragon so he can sneak some attacks in. He can always take a safety heal on the way if he feels like he's getting low on resources and he's going to get hounded by these red dragons. Garanham is just to the north here. He's going to go ahead and use the GPS now and see if it's on this side or if he has to cross over the water. And we can see there he's got to take another 7 steps to the east. And he promptly runs into another red dragon, so now it's getting a little dicey. He manages to just run with 58 agility and 32 HP, clearly in the danger zone on getting 2-shot. Just runs like the red dragon standing still there. So, nice option. I feel like he would be prudent to just go back and grab the end from Garanham, but no, it's just going straight over. And he's very close. He might be standing on it right now, in fact. Green Dragon. They are hurt mortal enemies 7 out of 8 times. And gets it this time. He's going to have to finish it off with the Flame Sword. And start searching around. And you can see how good the... and there's a 1-shot on the Metal Slime from Angel, since 139 attack power is enough to guarantee 3 damage to the Metal Slime. So, just takes 1 step off the Axonite grind, gets a Metal Slime, quick 255. Everything's working out in Angel's favor here. And he is trying to stretch towards level 16. Doesn't look like he'll quite have enough resources to get 16 on this trip. And you have to wonder now if it's time to consider a diving grind, with the HP the only stat that's really required. If you get the HP, you get it. If you don't, then, you have options. Maybe time to head towards Sharlock after using up his resources on this grind here, but he's probably going to get actually pretty close to level 16, if not all the way there. With these last 3 Hurtmores and Erdrick Sword. VaeluV still a little ways away from 14, and he has 1 more piece of homework to do, is to run down there and get the Rainbow Drop. But first he's going to stop off in Hawksness for some Axonite grinding. So dual Axonite grinding. There you go, guys. That's what you do. Dragon Warrior Randomizer. And Angel finishes this one off. He's still just a little under 1,000 points away from the level. I believe this would be a good time for a diving grind. The problem there, though, is with low agility and low defense, you're not defense breaking any of the Sharlock monsters right now, so you might take some damage along the way. And the Axonite grind is pretty quick, and it's pretty near start. So perhaps he's just going to head back, finish off the level, see where he stands. It's going to want at least about 7 hit points to make things, a fist pump go time. If, like I said before, if you end up with something like 93 hit points, you're going to have a real decision to make here. And he is fighting the medium-sized monsters en route. No repel, just in case he does run into the metal slimes along the way. so I'm not repelling. Doesn't see any metal slimes this time, just gets the Axe Knights. And off we go. 700 points to go for Angel. And VaeluV has picked up 14 and is back out onto the overworld, I guess maybe trying to get that rainbow drop. And blue dragons are in the area as well, which are also valuable. 180 points incoming for Angel, and he is now something like probably still 3 Axe Knights away here. All sorts of MP to use on this grind. Not going to be a problem. I think he maybe could take 27 damage. Maybe not. If it was a risk, it was a really small one. And one-shots the next Axe Knights, and here we go. One more. Are we going to see some hit points? That's the only question remaining. How many hit points will level 16 yield? Will it be go time? VaeluV seems to be just looking around still. Maybe never saw the Rainbow Drop Cave. It is kind of over here to the west, if I recall. It was somewhat to the south of Hawk's Nest, I believe. And that looks like 0 hit points to me, guys. So, buckle up. We are going to 17, and that is 12,000 points total that you'll need. So there's some question here about whether or not he'll actually get all the way to 17 on this cycle. Looks like he probably won't. So we'll have to have another decision. Do we want to come back to the spike tile again, or are we going to Charlock on that in-between level again? Picks up what? That was a really bad level. 1 strength point, 1 agility point, which is really suffering still. HP, no change. Got some MP to work with, so there is plenty of spare heal mores. And as you get more and more spare heal mores, the amount of HP required starts to go down a little more. Like 93 hit points becomes more reasonable if you have 5 or 6 extra heal mores to work with. At some point, you could even consider 91 hit points if things get really crazy with the strength and the MP. But 88 is not happening. More Axe Knight corpses. 3 or 4 victories per minute here for Angel. Back to the Charlock region goes VaeluV without the Rainbow Drop in hand. I don't think this is the right area of the map to track down the Rainbow Drop. And he is repelling. Seeing the occasional decent monster for some experience along the way, but he's falling further and further behind because he just can't get the homework done. We're crossing well over an hour into the seed without the Rainbow Drop now for VaeluV. So, yeah, question in chat, if the defense was a little bigger, if you'd want to go for it with 88 hit points. I believe 88 hit points is just almost never enough. You would want just a tremendous amount of spare heal mores. You're going to just want to wait for low physicals on every Dragon Lord attack. So, something really lopsided would have to happen. The defense just doesn't help you that much. And so Angel takes the Death Warp and is back into Hawk's Nest to finish out the level. We're going to 17. He's been on this grind for about 3 levels now. There are some defense thresholds, as pointed out in chat, with as far as defense breaking some of the Charlock monsters, and in particular, the Dragon Lord 1 can be defense broken at 90 defense, which means if it happens to give a physical attack towards you, you'll take very little damage. And all of these things do help. So that agility score is also a problem in addition to the HP being a non-starter. So agility is kind of in the orange, meaning that, you know, if you had the HP, you would just go, because it's sort of borderline. It's, you know, it's fine, but in combination with the low HP, it's not helping the cause here. But the Axonite grind is very fast, and Angel is just a couple, 2 or 3 victories away. Doesn't bother healing before throwing a Hurt More out that time. Just trying to go, go, go. And pays for it. Not sure exactly why he was taking those risks. There's plenty of MP to work with there, so this is time lost that really shouldn't have been lost for Angel. I'm not sure what was happening there, but he will be running quickly back over to Hawksness, presumably, to finish up the level, just in case we get another 0 burger for the HP, and you have to continue grinding. If that's the case, then he probably will have enough resources to stretch this all the way to level 18 on this cycle, because we got a really big MP boost. He's actually really close to 17 already. So, here we go. And one more victory for the level. Let's see if we get the HP, guys. Well, we got 2 hit points. Puts us up to 90. If it were even 91, you would start thinking about it. But 90 is a lot worse than 91 for a lot of reasons, having to do with Dragon Lord math. So, yeah, we have 144 attack power and 116 MP, but we only have 90 hit points. I mean, you can run some sims at this point, and it is a beatable fight, but probably you're just not a favorite. You might be winning 20% of the time or something, so Angel's just gonna go ahead and continue grinding. It's a very good, close, fast Axonite grind. And waiting for those hit points to catch up. Agility, by the way, has not helped either on that level up. Now up to 66 agility, which gives him 81 defense with the full gear. We don't have a dragon scale marked off for Angel at this point, so I don't think. Yeah, so there are thresholds that he might end up missing out on because he just doesn't have a dragon scale equipped, but not really that important at this point. Just needs the hit points. And yeah, the question is whether or not he'll be able to get all the way to 14,250 before running out of MP here. He's going to go ahead and heal this time before taking his next action, which is to finish it off with the sword. So, taking a little bit less of an aggressive action than we saw a few minutes ago. 8 more Hurt Mores to work with, and he needs a lot more Axonites than that, so we'll see how far he gets towards level 18 here. VaeluV, unfortunately, is really struggling to find the last thing that he needs, which is the Rainbow Drop Cave. This is the most infuriating thing that can happen in this game, in my opinion. It's just, you feel like you've played well, you've made a lot of good decisions, you're doing all good things, and you're just stuck looking around into all places you've already been to because you just missed one place that is required. So, back to Breckenary. I don't know, yeah, VaeluV is just... This has to just be really frustrating. He played a very good race, and he has now fallen beyond one failed dive because it took him this long to find the Rainbow Drop Cave, which is just right there. Wasn't actually that far away from home. And he turns it in, and he'll promptly go back to Hawksness now for his grind. And And there are a lot of Axe Knights in his future if he wants to finish the seed all the way out. And Angel actually is getting fairly close to 18 without running totally out of resources here. He's got 2 more Hurtmores, happens to find a blue dragon along the way. So he could probably do it. If he really wanted to, he could like burn an herb or 2 and swing with the sword on the last fight. He does it on this fight. He uses the sword, so then now he can use the Hurtmore, I think. Unless he wants to heal more, instead of using Hurtmores, which could miss or whatever, he's just going to heal more and make sure that he gets it with the sword. Which I think is an interesting play here. And he is going to get it before running out of resources on the final level, presumably. That was a very fast level up for Angel. Let's see what happens here with the HP. Level 18 is in. Finally get some agility. We get no hit points, guys. It's starting to get closer, though, to where you really do have to consider if you can win with 90 hit points. This is the kind of thing I was talking about, where it could allow VaeluV to snipe him if things were slightly tighter here. And Angel wants to be super passive, VaeluV wants to be super aggressive. Or if Angel gets aggressive and fails the dive, fails the fight, and you know, VaeluV has a chance to catch up that way. This was kind of the scenario that I was talking about that could shake things up. It's unfortunate that VaeluV took like an extra 5 or 6 minutes just to be able to find the rainbow drop there. He does get his one shot on the metal slime, so things are all good from that. It's gonna head back towards the spot. He's doing a lot of heel walking, hoping to stretch this out for the level before his cycle ends here, thinking that maybe 16 will be enough, which is totally understandable. Little does he know, we're getting a lot of trolley level ups here in the late stages. He's got a lot more Axe Knights in his future. So, taking a lot of extra time, just doing a little heel walking so that he can win these last couple of fights with no MP to spare. The next fight won't quite be enough. Runs into a blue dragon, ambushed. He's gonna have to probably run from this battle if he actually wants to get this level, but he's gonna go for it. It's gonna take a couple more fire breaths, which is good. The Urgic's armor does lower the fire breath damage, and he does manage the blue dragon for the level, so nice job, VaeluV. Have your 0 hit points for your troubles. And next level, for those curious, is at 16,500 points for Angel. That's level 19. And then after that, the levels get even further apart than they already are. You have to do even more grinding just to get one more level. You'd have to go all the way to 19,500. So stay tuned for that. And I don't know how many math gurus there are in the audience here, but with 144 attack power, you really only need about 8 heal mores to get this done, and you are sitting on like twice that right now. So, I mean, 90 hit points is not unreasonable anymore. You can literally, every time you get a fire breath, you can just heal and just wait for physicals, and you can win with just a small amount of luck. You're probably just a very minor underdog to win a fight on this level, but can be done. Agility is no longer atrocious, it's just sort of a little bit below average. So you could get down to the bottom most of the time with full resources. I think it'd be fun if VaeluV tries it on 18. But Angel, clearly just hacking away at these Axe Knights, throwing around some Hurtmores. We are just a few hundred points away. And we'll probably get like 40 hit points and it'll just be completely over. We'll see. Yeah, let's see, this is the one. There's the Hurt More. Are we going to get the one shot? We do. So level 19 incoming for Angel FM. Yeah, like I said, the rubber band effect, you just get all the HP now and it's just completely over. Like, there's like nothing that can even happen here going into Sharlock, so Angel's got all the stats. Do I see Sneaky? What's going on, Sneaky? How was the other race?
It was an almost 2-hour long slog. You definitely have to catch it on the restreams at some point. But it looks like, yeah, Angel FM, of course, wasn't really quite ready to run on 90 hit points, given that that's not going to guarantee you can get a hit on every round. But now that the enormous hit point gain on 29 came up, this is all but a formality.
Yeah, this is one of the most free Dragon Lord fights we'll ever see, because there was just one stat that was lingering. All the other stats were totally overpowered already. And now it's just how fast can you get through Sharlock. On top of everything else, we've got a little bit of agility, and he's got the full gear, so he can actually repel about 3 of the Sherlock monsters going all the way through, so he'll see less encounters on the way down. No reason not to burn plenty of MP just repelling everything, since you got so much to work with. And yeah, so how fast can you make this dive happen? The Sherlock monsters that we've seen on the overworld don't have sleep, not that I've seen anyways, so there's just no chance that this could go wrong. It's just a question of how fast can he do it.
Absolutely, yeah, and I believe they even have just barely enough to repel green dragons now. I think that was at 88, so...
Oh, very good. Maybe we didn't have the dragon scale marked up. I swear we were at 87 a minute ago. So, yeah, now the dragon scale puts him over the green dragon threshold, so...
So yeah, that's, I mean, you're repelling half of the enemies in Charlock. Now, mind you, that just leaves you the big boys to deal with, but at these stats, like you said, it's all but a formality. It isn't a matter of if, it's a matter of how fast is it going to happen. And the sad truth is, unfortunately, with this kind of experience point game, there's, even if for some reason Angel missed menus, he's still got at least 2 or 3 dives before Vaelu can start to catch up in experience.
Yeah, they were actually probably within a failed dive up until VaeluV just had one more issue where he couldn't find the rainbow drop. Just looking all over the map for that last cave. And, you know, just took him a lot longer to find that than Angel did, and just put him further behind. So yeah, now... even a failed Dragon Lord fight, for whatever reason, like a missed menu in the Dragon Lord fight, and VaeluV would still be grinding. But he is making quick work of the grind. He has now reached level 17. He's going to get another 0 burger for the HP, and yeah, at 17, I don't think things were so overpowered where you'd consider going on 90 hit points. It was more like level 18. Seemed like if you wanted to be really aggressive, you could try it. But look at the agility numbers. If you wanted to go on those levels, you would actually get run blocked a lot, even by these Stone Man and everything else that Angel's just running from now. So
that red dragon cost him 7 rounds. It just would not let him go.
Yeah, running from red dragons. Yeah.
And it also cost him, I think, 2 heal mores now. But it's not like he doesn't have plenty in the tank. But at the same time, it's like, at that point, it's with an attack power of 145, you'd almost do better to just 2-shot them or 3-shot them than try to run at this point.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that he's kind of leaning into the 78 agility and choosing to run here. I mean, if it works and you get away first try, that's the fastest result. When you get run blocked several times, though, and you have mores, it's kind of ugly. I guess he feels like, there's just no risk. He's got so many extra heal mores. Might as well just keep trying to get away. And so, yeah, interesting to try to decide what is faster in the long run. Like right there, he just ran from a red dragon like it was standing still. Probably a 40 or 45% chance to run each time. Armor Knight, pretty much the same story. So, yeah, kind of a nasty zone here he's walking through. Armor Knights and Red Dragons, but they're just so overpowered. It would be so hard for him to lose, 40 more MP before getting to the Dragon Lord, and for it to be somewhat close.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, VaeluV is grinding out hard. I mean, his hit level 17 is continuing to 18, but I mean, Angel FM is already almost at the bottom.
Yep, and Angel is showing off his dark navigation skills, going through Charlock with no light source. Doesn't want to burn the precious 2 MP to cast Radiant. So we are just following him along in the dark. And, yep, just still trying to run from these Armored Knights. Gets away, doesn't bother healing. Just wants to heal, walk it back up. And we are on the last floor.
Yeah, he's actually using fairy water for his repel now.
Yeah, you might as well. The fairy water does less damage than he would be able to do with regular attacks now on the Dragon Lord. So any fairy water you might have, might as well use them to repel. And
22 to 11? Wow.
What's that?
His damage range against the Dragon Lord is 22 to 11.
Oh yeah, it's quick. He's only gonna have to heal like 7 or 8 times. That's why it's so lopsided here. And just an Axe Knight on the spike tile to top things off. Nice squishy enemy, easy 2-shot. And we will be approaching the Dragon Lord with a chance of sub-hour and a half on a level 19 seed. So pretty quick work by Angel here throughout.
This Golem trying to get in his way, but not gonna have any of it.
Alright, this Dragon Lord is dressed in red to match the Alina Sprite from Dragon Warrior 4 that Angel's using here. And here we go, he's been declared a fool, and we have a Dragon Lord Flight who promptly casts Stop Spell, and it has no effect.
And probably not the smartest move from the Dragon Lord's Phase 1. He's certainly hitting like Alina is.
Alright, Phase 2 has commenced. Don't blink. It'll be over soon. We have plenty of HP. Could even see a potential double attack at some point. 89 defense, so there will never be more than 48 damage absorbed by Angel here, and he knows it. So we can just heal every time you're in the danger zone and attack when you're not. And we're doing all sorts of damage. The maximum that the Dragon Lord can have here is 165 hit points. And since we're rolling in the 20s occasionally, it won't take too many attacks to finish him off here. VaeluV is about to get level 18 in about 2 more Axe Knight victories, and he will get the sad news that even 18 doesn't yield any hit points. So if he was wondering why nobody had finished yet, that is why. And here that comes for VaeluV, while we are at the last couple of attacks here for Angel. Fight's actually lasting a little longer. I saw some 11s rolled by Angel, which is the minimum, so yeah, 1 or 2 extra attacks needed here. It's gonna take a safety heal more just in case. 45.
Yeah, you don't want to get this far and then take a 48 by accident.
Why is this taking so long? I expected him to have 4 or 5 heal mores remaining at the end, so he is using some hurt mores now.
The Dragon Lord is trying to drag it out as much as he possibly can.
If you ever did this and you lost the race by 3 seconds, you have only yourself to blame. But down it goes.
Break out your GGs.
Careful count. He knew that the next attack was guaranteed to beat. The Dragon Lord wins on the last attack. GG's for Angel. He is going to sub 1.5 hour the seed unless he does some more shenanigans. He will have to wait for the princess to say a few words here, but we'll get an official time in a moment from our tracker, since I don't have that screen open.
Yeah, he tried for a swag more, but didn't work.
Get your GGs out for Angel FM. He is your winner, and simultaneously, VaeluV, thou art dead. And didn't catch if there was a forfeit there, but the race has ended, and Angel will move on to the second round of our Swiss format next week with a 1-0 record. VaeluV is still alive and well in the tournament. He'll have plenty of chances to pick up a victory. We'll see if they want to pop in here for some words.
Yeah, I see VaeluV in the waiting room, so it won't be long.
Sounds good. I will drag him in if possible. VaeluV, how's it going? Let's see if he has his microphone set up and push to talk active.
How's it going, everybody? Hope you enjoyed that interesting seed.
Set up and push to talk. That was a fun seed to watch, and you were keeping up really nicely for the first hour or so.
Yeah,
that was a fun seed
it was
to watch,
right there.
And,
the rainbow
really
drop
nicely
cave
for the first hour or so.
I feel like a lot of time trying to find it, and it was literally just right there.
Right there. It was right there. Yeah, that's infuriating when you just can't find the very last location and you're starting to like redouble your steps all over the map. Yeah, that's another when slight can't find the very last location. Seemed to be, I guess, you went over to the second continent to look for the overworld item. Another slight at one point someone mentioned seemed to be, I guess.
There was a couple of mistakes in there. I messed up my gold grind in the beginning. For some reason, I thought I had enough chests to instigate it, and so that ate up some time.
Yeah, what happened, I think, is that you came into the castle from outside. Yeah, and then you like walked back out of the dungeon, and you just never went back into the throne room. So
is that you came for some reason I thought I had gone into that throne room because I could have sworn I just needed one chest in there to unlock it, but that is what it is. And then I had done Gwaelin's Love over there, and I must have just miscalculated where I was standing in relation to that. I was like, oh, it's just on the other side of that river, and I think I have to go through the swamp cave to get there, and that was also wrong. So I had to go kind of backtrack there as well. So those two things I think was definitely, probably a good 10, 12 minutes there, and then the wandering around looking for that swamp. Everything else though, or that rainbow drop cave. Everything else though, I felt like went really well.
Yeah,
and, you looks like Angel's doing so. Congratulations there, excellent job. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Sometimes I can't hear you, so it's on my end. But yeah, you had an excellent start actually, VaeluV, and just the way that the initial level 1 grind worked out for you, and finding Rimuldar immediately, like the sequence just seemed to work out better than it did for Angel. So yeah, like you said, a lot of things did go well for you in the seed, and like for the first hour. It was really good, and then just a couple of those kind of things, like you just mentioned, kind of went astray, and Angel was able to round up the stuff, and Angel is in with us here. GG's on a victory. Well played.
Thank you very much.
Any more thoughts?
No, I mean, you pretty much said it. Like my first 10 minutes were pretty bad. A couple dodge hurt more, is losing money, having to make that back up again, and just getting knocked out of Gray without getting tokens, so having to double back there. But other than that, I mean, my exploration I thought was really good.
Yeah, so how about those hit point totals?
Man, I thought it was going to be go at level 15, and then it was like, hey, here's 2 hit points, and then the next one I think it was 2, and then there was a 0 there. I'm assuming it was level 19 where it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had just finished my level 18.
I was actually wondering on the stream here whether or not either of you would consider going on 18 with the 90 hit points, because the other stats were starting to get pretty lopsided. 90 is pretty nasty, but I wonder if it crossed anybody's mind.
I mean, barely, but, looking at my Sharlock, how that went, it's a good thing I went to 19 instead.
Yeah, good lord, that red dragon just would not let you go, and I'm like, you get 145 attack power, 2 or 3 shots, and it's dead.
Well, I mean, I figured, since I was getting the Mr. Holmes encounter rate, I should just try to hurt more of the Dragon Lord too while I was at it.
Yeah, that's been known to work for him, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be interesting if you end up watching it back. The first 5 minutes, I don't feel like there's really a right answer. I think you guys just approached it differently, and he ended up with a torch grind, and you did a reset, and you wanted to check out the basement, and then you were in the mountain cave for a little while, and it just so happened that Rimmildar was just right next door, and it's just, I don't know. You never know what's going to be outside when you have to make the decision to do the early grind. It's all kind of weird, and it was fun to see that it was just totally different for you guys. But then once you were both done with that whole thing of getting an early weapon and getting whatever gold grinds initiated, then it all seemed like it was even again. So yeah, it was a fun start, and I don't think it was everything was given to you for free. The first few levels were low strength and no hurt more for a while. So yeah, Angel, I think you ended up getting a little bit more aggressive with getting out onto the map when things were a little dicey with stats, and it kind of paid off.
Yeah, sometimes the map is the final boss.
Yeah, I felt this was a bit of a not confusing map, but it was just all open in kind of all directions. That always kind of makes it a little rough to kind of cross off where you've been. I don't write a map. I can't draw that well. So it was oftentimes did I go here already? Oh yeah, I probably did. But on the other side of that token, it seemed like everything was also really, really close. There wasn't anything that was really far flung. And just in my case, unfortunate that the rainbow drop was as close as it was, and I just didn't happen to see it there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, everything was close by, and besides Garenham being way out there, leading to Tablet and Heart. But yeah, I mean, same thing. Is Rainbow Drop's last thing. I haven't seen it, and I just decided to stay west and didn't have to explore all that much more.
Yeah, one bit of exploration luck, as you would call it, is you did manage to get over towards the Garenham region kind of early on, Angel, and I think VaeluV, you went more in the direction of coal, and of course in this seed, coal has nothing. So it's just, if coal has the important item, then things may be different, and if Garenham's just nothing, But this time Garenham's pretty important. It leads to the armor, and yeah, it's just, but even so, I think Angel is, it's starting to pull ahead just little by little, but it was definitely a fun race. You guys played really well. VaeluV, that puts you at 0-1, but you have 4 more races guaranteed. Plenty of chances to pick up some victories. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I think there's definitely some chances for me, moving forward. When you're playing against such an excellent runner as Angel FM, I kind of knew that the odds weren't that in my favor, but you just give your best and see what comes of it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next races next week.
Very good. And Angel, you are now at 1-0. I feel like we're gonna rig it so that you get to play Nest Cardinality next week. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm already expecting that to happen. Just let Nescard go through the gauntlet real quick. Kind of put the morale down for everyone else.
Very nice. That'll be fun. Whoever you guys play, I'm sure it'll be a fun and exciting race. Thanks for joining me, Sneaky. I think we're going to start wrapping it up. Any last words for our runners today?
Just want to say thanks to all y'all that are, the commentator team, the whole Restream team, for putting this on. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next week's, the next coming weeks, not just next week, but the ones after that as well.
And I'm just going to echo what he said, but also too, I want to thank everyone so far, just in the first week, being able to restream every race so far. It's been really great to see everyone being able to help out And I just want to thank you everyone for that.
And of course, stay tuned at 8 o'clock this evening Eastern Time. There will be another race on Randomania. It'll be F. Coughlin versus Juzel. And that's another race you don't want to miss. Until then, this is Sneaky the Lost.
Yeah, thank you, Sneaky, for joining. And that race that you mentioned will actually be the last race of round 1. So once that is concluded, all the matchups for round 2 will start to be determined, and questions about where everyone's at so far in the tournament will be answered. So definitely check out the 8 o'clock race tonight. So that's going to do it for us here on the Randomania Network for now. Thanks all the viewers for watching. Thanks for Math Girl 18 with the restream tonight, Brian Williams 42 with the tracking, Sneaky for joining in on comms. Appreciate it. Follow the runners, follow all the people. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. See you next time.